integrated technology, portfolio assessment. Your studio project must demonstrate the integration of technology into all aspects of the design of a reasonably complex building or reasonably complex group of buildings. So this is the module handbook. Okay, this tells you about the submission. So the key thing here is we're not looking for a separate submission. We assess the project technology in the project drawings that you put on the wall at the end of the year, or in the work that you might want to have in the portfolio. And I'm going to explain that a little bit more in a moment. Okay. So read this carefully. The thing is that we're looking for the project technology to be clearly legible in the drawings. Now that may be in the design drawings, or you may want to have an additional drawing. Okay? And we leave it up to you to choose the appropriate scale. So, you need to make decisions about what scale drawing is appropriate, but as a minimum, we do need a construction study at a scale of 1 to 20 or 1 to 10 to fill an A1 sheet. Okay? So although we're leaving you with a lot of freedom, we do have that minimum submission requirement. Okay? The reason we've had to bring that in is because sometimes students were not looking at their technology in anything more detailed than 1 to 50, and you can't really explore materiality and construction at 1 to 50. So we have said, it needs to be a minimum of 1 to 20. Okay, and it needs to be A1 because we don't want little tiny drawings. Okay. And it must include part of the environmental envelope of your building. So it must demonstrate the external building envelope. You can't detail something that is purely internal. We need to see a level of understanding of detailing construction to separate the inside from the outside, which normally you would do anyway. Okay. What I'm going to do now is just quickly jump into a few examples. Let's go. These will all go up on Mold, so you can look at them in your own time. So this is an example submission from last year. Okay. So, I think it's just important for you to get a feel for the kind of work that you might submit. So you see the kind of space that students got. So they've got a decent amount of wall space. In this case, the student has pinned up their work on lots of small sheets. You can just about make out they've used little bulldog clips with pins. Fine. Okay. I would recommend that you do pin your work up as a series of sheets of paper. In the past, a few students have laid out their entire wall in one enormous InDesign file and then printed it on huge rolls of paper which they had to piece together. And it's just created incredible headaches for them. Okay, because the file size is enormous. They've not got anything to pin up until that final, sheet of paper comes out of the plotter. This is a much more sensible approach. You're simply collecting lots of sheets and pinning them up in a careful arrangement on the wall. All right. It also means you can be collecting these images in the weeks ahead. As soon as you've got something ready, it's ready. Okay, you're not leaving everything to print to the last minute. Now what Nicola did here, which was very nice, is she kind of mixed up models, little material studies, different kinds of drawings, big ones, small ones, and she just kind of tessellated those on the wall. Very, very effective. And then on the floor, she arranged some of her CMA studies here, some little concrete castings, little models, reports, sketchbooks, are just sort of loosely arranged on the floor. Okay? And your submission is everything there. So it's not just what's on the wall, but we can look at all this work that's on the wall. You might have something in a portfolio, and generally what I would advise is if you want us to look at it, just leave it open, or draw our attention to it. So your submission can be a combination of work on the wall and work on the floor. Right, let me just look at a few key images. So here's a section, which in this case is a perspectival section with a sort of render applied to it. Really good drawing because it's talking about the project spaces, it's talking about the quality of light, and it's also talking about construction and materiality. We can see the structure, so very good drawing.
What scale is that?
That looks to me, I'm guessing it's 1 to 50. It could be 1. No, it probably is 1 to 50. That I would have thought. Yeah. Hand drawing. Nicola did these lovely little studies, right? Some material samples, little models, little sectional model. Sectional models are fantastic. If you want to make a model but you haven't got a lot of time, making a thin strip of your building is much, much quicker than making the whole thing. That's an overall project section. Plans, which in Nicola's case were actually hand-drawn. Elevation, that's that section again. Okay. Let me show you a few. This is Chris Carthy. So this is the overall presentation. There's a big. This is his kind of main construction drawing, which is this big 1 to 20 section here. But then you can read the technology in some of the smaller drawings as well. So it's not a very good photo, I'm afraid, but that's an image of that construction section. And there was a lot of detail work in the envelope, but also it's a really fantastic project design drawing. So it's a bit blurry there, but so we've got both kind of detailed materiality, detailed construction, and we've got collage materials giving a really good feel for the kind of architecture. Okay. Nick Hunter. Again, lots of different sheets arranged, little models, reports. Okay. Go back to the beginning on that. There were some very effective internal views. Like this. And although, not specifically a technology drawing as such, there's a lot of technology we can read in this kind of image. This was a 1 to 20. Well, it says 1 to 25. Okay, near enough. But very technically drawn construction section. But also great because it's talking about the space. We've got people in there, we've got furniture, we understand the kind of quality of space. That's a close-up. In this case, Nick's just, it's a very straightforward type of construction drawing. It's kind of how Detail Magazine looks. And sometimes don't try and reinvent the wheel in terms of doing a technical section. Often just use good kind of technique. exploded drawing. I mean, these are not all technology drawings as such. Really fantastic section here with some materiality and some kind of shadows, more internal. Sectional model. So again, you know, this idea of sectional model can be quite quick. That's the overall. This was a little CMA study. This was Brian's overall presentation. And let's look at this section here. This was a really great study. I'll just zoom in there. We've got a construction study, you know, detailed technology there, detailing the envelope, and then what Brian did is he then used hand drawing to kind of inhabit the building behind it. So you've got this sort of hand-drawn layer, pencil-drawn, showing the people. He's got some shadows out of, I think it was out of SketchUp, which he's layered onto it to give a feel of kind of lighting. And then on the same sheet, he's put a little elevation section so we can see what it would look like from the outside. That's a really effective example of it's a project drawing, but it's talking about technology. And then this was produced for the CMA, and it went on the wall at the end of the year. Okay. So I'm going to stop there because I could go on all day looking at these examples, but they're on Mole, and I encourage you to have a good look at those. Has anyone got any questions about the integrated technology submission? Okay. Great. Okay. You've been having these sustainability tutorials. There's a program of detailed project technology tutorials which will start in the next few weeks. So I'll issue the sign-up sheets for those as normal. But basically from the next few weeks up until the end, you have a regular program of technology tutorials. So those are a great opportunity for you to take drawings, take your project, get advice from the tutor, get the tutor to draw. And it's always the case, the more you can bring, the more you'll get out of those sessions. If you can turn up with a structural section, your tutor will help you with that, will amend it, make sure it works. If you can turn up later on with construction studies, your tutor will even sit and draw over it and make sure that it all works. Okay. If you don't bring those drawings, your tutor can only talk about kind of ideas. All right. So those tutorials will be the same format we've had. You can sign up when you like. They'll be spread out over several days of the week. You just need to sign up when it's convenient for you.